Hey, it's June 20th and we find ourselves in Ecclesiastes chapters 7 through 12. Now, Ecclesiastes would be a pretty depressing book if it weren't for the ending. Thankfully, Solomon doesn't just tell us what life is not about, he tells us what the meaning of life is. In chapters 7 through 12, Solomon focuses mainly on comparing wisdom and folly, or immorality. Again, ultimately, both fail again because all people die and their deeds are forgotten. Solomon in this section gives an example of a poor wise man who defended his city from a powerful king. But even though he did that great thing, the wise man is still forgotten. However, wisdom is still better than folly. Other memorable things in this section, chapter 7, verse 10, say not, why were the former days better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask this. In other words, don't long for the good old days. If we're honest, they really weren't that good. What makes them desirable is that we know what happened then. The present is uncertain, as Solomon says in this section, which is what makes the present scary and the past attractive to us. Chapter 8, verse 2 says, keep the king's command because of God's oath to him. Remember, it is God who puts all leaders and rulers in place. Paul said the same thing in Romans 13, verses 1 and 2. It says, let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God. And those that exist have been instituted by God. You see the repeat? Remember, that's the Bible's way of highlighting something super important. It says, therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. Now, if our elected government officials make a law or executive order that isn't sinful, we should do it. If it is sinful, then we must obey God rather than men, as it says in Acts chapter 5, verse 29. And then we get to chapter 12, which says, remember also your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come and the years draw near, which you will say, I have no pleasure in them. It says to follow God as early as possible in life. Don't put it off until you're older and life gets a lot more difficult. So what can we take away from today's passage? The meaning of life is found in the last two verses of chapter 12. It says, the end of the matter, all has been heard. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every deed into judgment with every secret thing, whether good or evil. So living for pleasure or trying to find meaning, value, and purpose in accomplishments or wealth or being a good person is temporary, and that all dies with you. But living according to the purpose and plan that God created and saved you for, as revealed in his word, is where you find true value, life, and purpose. My prayer for us today is that we would more intentionally than ever study God's word and live according to the plan that God has revealed to us in its pages. If you haven't done so yet, please download our Through the Bible reading plan at asperiercommunitychurch.org/throughthebible. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.